J.k. Rowling is known all around the world for giving us the magical story of Harry Potter. Yet, the author wasn't always on top of the world. Her life story has its fair share of struggles. Every Harry Potter fan probably knows the story. In 1990, on a train from Manchester to London's King's Cross station, the idea for Harry Potter popped into her head. She would then spend the next 5 years working on the story. However, in the midst of it all, tragedy struck. Rowling's mother died when Rowling was 25. At 26, most likely tired of her office job, Rowling moved to Portugal to teach English. There she would meet and marry a Portuguese journalist named George Arantes. The couple had a child together, Jessica, named after a favorite author of Rowling's. The two of them would break up shortly after Jessica's birth in July 1993, their relationship ending in November. Shortly after the breakup, Rowling headed back to UK and would write the first Harry Potter book on a typewriter in cafes. Being a single mom is a struggle in and of itself. Yet, is not the only struggle J.k. Rowling would face at the time. She was also without a job, didn't have much money, and was living on welfare. All of these struggles must have overwhelmed her and led her to depression. That's right. J.k. Rowling suffered from depression and would later be inspired to create the Dementors based on her experience with the illness. She would also face a lot of rejection from publishers when first sending out the first Harry Potter book in 1995. Yet, eventually, a publisher named Bloomsbury took a chance on her and published Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone under the pen name J.k. Rowling, an attempt to hide her gender so that boys would read the book. Yet, don't worry, despite her struggles, she carried on and even said in a speech in 2008 that rock bottom made the solid foundation on which she rebuilt her life. The Harry Potter books were translated into 73 languages, sold more than 450 million copies globally, and gained over 20 billion from sponsorships and movie adaptations. Harry Potter has now become a global brand with 15 billion estimated net worth. It is indeed a huge achievement for someone who was once jobless, living on government's fund, depressed and suicidal. J.k. Rowling's success story is phenomenal. She has shifted from being a very poor person to a world billionaire in less than 10 years. What is the secret behind J.k. Rowling's success? Here are some of J.k. Rowling's personal traits that made her successful. J.k. Rowling is a dreamer. She has dreamt of being a novel writer since she knew what writers were. Despite her parents' opinion about it, J.k. Rowling dared to dream and never gave up on it. J.k. Rowling is goal-oriented. She focused on her goal to become a writer through all the adversities she experienced in her life. J.k. Rowling used to spend her time writing back when she was jobless. She maintained it by writing in her spare time when she had a job. J.k. Rowling is resilient. She's been through difficult times in her life, but she always managed to rise and move forward. The manuscript of the first Harry Potter book was rejected by 12 publishers before finally a small publisher agreed to publish it. She mentioned that she wouldn't stop until every single publisher turned her down, but she was often afraid that would happen. J.k. Rowling is disciplined. She is a disciplined writer. She sets a schedule on when she does her writing and commits to it. J.k. Rowling is active towards ideas. The idea about Harry Potter came when she was on a delayed train journey from Manchester to King's Cross Station in London. It was then when the main characters of the story, Harry Potter, Ronald Weasley and Hermione Granger, formed clearly in her mind. But it wasn't until the next 6 years she finally finished and published the first book of the Harry Potter series. She didn't stop merely on having ideas, she took action towards them. J.k. Rowling is strong-willed. She spent 6 years creating the entire plot of the Harry Potter story before finally came up with the first manuscript, Harry Potter and Philosopher's Stone. She's determined to work on her ideas despite her personal and financial issues at the time. Despite being very wealthy right now, J.k. Rowling is still a humble and caring person as she used to be. Her hefty donation to charity apparently not only has won her many philanthropist awards but has made her expelled from Forbes' list of the world's billionaire in 2012 as well. It didn't stop her from giving to charity though. Her humble beginning has somehow made her the way she is today. The world needs more J.k. Rowling.